All right, today we're going to talk about what is Fibonacci. Of course, this thing's making my screen longer. We're going to talk about what is Fibonacci and how can it be used in the stock market. Okay, I did do a video. I tried to do 2 videos, or at least 3 videos already this week, but I had to delete them because I'm up about 5 in the morning and I do my work. So then kids get up, getting ready for school, and then they come here and won't leave me alone. My 6-year-old son makes his own videos on here, and he's got his little brother in it, the 4-year-old, but they do their own videos. So today we're going to talk about Fibonacci and what is it used for. Let me bring it up here. Here we go. Fibonacci is a sequence of numbers. So you take 1 plus 1, this is a foundation of it, equals 2. Well, you take the 2 plus the number here, so 1 plus 2 equals 3. So you take 3 and 2. 2 plus 3 equals 5. 3 plus, same thing. Say it's this one and this one. 3 plus that is 8, and so forth, so forth. And you can see the pattern here. But it is found in, and I'll show you. This gentleman here is the founder of it. But when I read on it, he's not the founder. He's not actually the person that did it. He's actually, it was discovered by, I think, his teacher. But he was the first one that ran down to the public square and said, "Hey, look what I found." That happens all the time. Look at Facebook. And Facebook, got sued because he claims he discovered it and everybody else said they discovered it, whatever. He may have been in the one, Facebook, won the lawsuit and all that, but it's the same thing. It's just whoever takes it down there. But from what I read, he is not the one that actually discovered it. It was another person that discovered it, but the other person didn't want to take the publicity of it. So what is Fibonacci? It is found in everything. You start at 1, there's, I don't know if you see, and there's 1, there's 2, 5, 8, 13, 20, 24, 25. And there's 1 the other there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is this pattern they discovered that comes in everything. You'll see this, and you'll see this pattern here. Of course, you got 1 and 1 is 2, 1 and 2 is 3, 3 and 2 is 5, 3 and 5 is 8, 5 and 8 is 13, 8 and that is 21, 8 and 13 is 21. So you see them everywhere, and they call it pretty much God's number. But you don't have to be, there's a formula kind of for it, but you don't have to be a genius to figure it out. It's not very hard, and I will show you. And I'm trying to figure out, I read his book, who actually discovered it, and the what am I trying to say? Who actually discovered it in the stock market, and he started figuring that there's patterns that keeps forming in the stock market, and there's patterns that forms over and over in the stock market, and they'll appear in places. So even person's ear. Of course, I showed you the hurricane. See the hurricanes? I showed the other hurricane right there. And even in, pops up Donald Trump's hair. How about that? So how do you use it in Fibonacci? If you remember, there's patterns you find in the Forex market. This is my website. If you go to fdissstoneforett.com, all one word, you'll pull up this and you see the patterns up here in the corner. We're going to do advanced butterfly pattern today. The butterfly, as far as I understood it, is the most powerful one, and it's the most one that forms and will take in the pattern. So this is the butterfly pattern. So technically it's going to form and then run upward, and this is your target prices and stuff, and the rules are all right here, so you can read over it. So today, let me get my thing up, my pattern up. There we go. Today we're going to use this one, and I've already scanned it, so I know where it's at. But this is the way you can see it. It takes you a long time to figure it. You can get software like this. So if you don't want to do it software, sometimes some of it's a flat fee. I've seen like $200 a flat fee. I've seen free. You can find it free some places. Some has a monthly fee. They actually send your text message alert. The ones that's free don't really send you any kind of alerts or anything like that. But they do form, and but usually the ones you pay for usually will send you a text alert and tell you, hey, here he is, and they even tell you put your stop profit in, or your stop loss in, and you take profit in automatically for you. So you just basically click, and you're out. You're running with it. So this is going to be the it's called a bull butterfly. So you use your Fibonacci, and this is where Fibonacci comes into play. But it's used in here quite often in just about any stock market. It's used pretty, even in the Elliott wave, any pattern, bat pattern, sharp pattern, Gartley pattern, it's used. So you find, and a lot of people just comes in here and they'll start marking the chart up, and then they'll come back and put it in. So you usually find the lowest point. So this is to be the lowest point of this right here, and you click it and drag it up. You don't have to drag it. Don't touch your mouse. I know the MetaTrader, you have to click on it, hold your mouse down, drag it up. So this one you do not. So now you're looking for a comeback. And it's 618. Now you cannot. Let's see if I can bring it up. 618 cannot recede 100%. So what does that mean? It's this cannot go past this. The candle, if the candle wick goes down and touch it and goes past it, it's still no good. So you kind of want to do the 718 or 686. It's fine. If the candle wick comes down about right in here, and then the candle goes back up, you're still good. So this is kind of where you want it to be. And so it does go down, touch the 886, and goes back up. Now, the Fibonacci I didn't explain to you, but the Fibonacci always divides into it. And I had one, I can't remember what I done with it, but you had the human body, everything has it, and this is considered as 68.8 is what they consider as God's number. So this is the Fibonacci, 618, 0.5%, and the 78. So these three numbers, the half, 618, and the 78, is the main prime numbers in the Fibonacci. The 6.18 is what they consider God's number. And you take the Fibonacci, and you can research better than I can, but I mean, you can probably go on Facebook, YouTube, and Google it. Go on YouTube and find people talking about it a lot, because they go into just about everything's Fibonacci. So today we're just kind of focused on the patterns. I'm going to do another video later on about the Fibonacci, and why is it so important. But pretty much everything has Fibonacci in it. If it does not have Fibonacci in it, the Fibonacci numbers are kind of off. So they take everything. The Mona Lisa's got Fibonacci in it. It's a very famous painting, but it's down to just about everything has Fibonacci, and that's why they call it God's number. If you take a human, I think from here to here, and go from that length to that length, divide it by the end itself, it comes up to 61.8. You go from this one to the tip of your finger, measure it, and divide it back into itself, it comes up to 61.8. From the top of your head, I think, to the belly button, it comes up to 6.18. If you do the dividing by it, from the belly button, I think, to the bottom of your toes, comes up 6.18. The tree, from the base of it to the first branch, you divide that back in, it comes up to 61.8. So that's where they get the God's number. It's in everything. So, gentlemen, and like I said, I have his book and I cannot find it, but I read it where he actually found these patterns in the stock market and started using it to his advantage. But I don't know when he released and told people about it, but he, back in the days, way back in the day, he actually made a ton of money. To today would be, back then it was millions, I think, and today that would be almost like a billion, really, because he's back in 18 something or 17, 18 something, I think. Anyways, I'll find his book and mention it on another video. But so this is where this comes into play. So it comes down to here. So the next pattern, so we're just going to mark, let's see, let me see if I can find a pattern here. We'll put, I was hoping I have the letters here. We'll just put an X. Where's an X? I don't have an X. No X? Really? Dang. We'll just put a check. We'll put a check right here. And so there's my check. We'll make them yellow so you can see them better. So that means it's forming. It's not formed yet. So we're going to go back to, we're going to check the top of this. Then I'll fill in the blanks. Don't give it, hold on. We'll be patient. We're going to fill in the blanks first. So then from this point. So technically this is my X, then the A, B. So I need to find my C. So to find your C, you take the Fibonacci. You notice I went from here to here. So now you'd actually do it backwards and go down to your entry point right there. So there again, it comes up. I won't use my finger here like you can see it. It comes up to the 618. It can actually, I think that 382, any from this area all the way up to 100%. It cannot go past 100%, but it can go right in here. It cannot C go over the A. Even though if the wick comes up and the candle actually forms right in here, it will actually still, it's no good. So this is where we're going to come in play, where this really can really help you. So we're going to put a check here. Now I'm going to fill this in and show you the pattern. But so there's my X. A, B, C. So now where's my D? So I want to find my D. Now on the butterfly pattern, the D is lower than the X. So now we use a different tool, same tool, different tool. So if you go to the, I should have my website on this page. If you go to it, ta-da, so AB. All right, read. So if you want to, like I said, if you want to find any of these patterns, they're all on this website. I'm actually adding these videos to them, but there's all the patterns, and I added to, I'm adding other patterns that's not on listed on here that you can find in it. So now we got X, A, B, C. So now let's go to a different tool to find D. So D, you use a Fibonacci retracement, and we'll go from A to C. Make sure it's on C. Back to A. We're looking for the 1278 1.272. That's where my D point is. Now, this being said, let me erase this real quick. This being said, this is where this is very powerful. So now, not only this tells you this is going back up, let me see if I flip around. This is going back up from here. The pattern forms and this is supposed to go back up, and it does. Not only that tells you it's going back up, but if you do A there, and it's going to tell you where D is at. So if you're here and this forms and it starts going down, you can actually take a trade, a downtrend, and this is where you take profit. So if you do, let me put it back on here. From A, wrong tool. Did I just click that? I hope it ain't the same one. Did I click? I don't know. A to C, back to A. Oh, let me go. I'm sitting here trying to point my finger again. So this tells you this D is going to form right here somewhere. You try to look for the 2.782. So if you get in here and you find this pattern and it starts coming down, and so you figured it's going to come down to this, so then what you do, you take the trade, you sell stop, ride it all the way down, take profit right at the, I would put it right above it. Don't be greedy. So I mean, somewhere's halfway in the middle. Take that trade because it can, we can touch it, but usually this is where you try it. So you know it's going to do that. So then once a pattern forms, you can take another trade up. So you know it's going to come up. So this is where this is so powerful tool. Let me see. Oh, here we go. What I'm looking at. So if I form it, there's my pattern. So I can take a trade coming down. Once it hits here, I can take a trade going up. So now you got both worlds. Then if you really want to go farther than that, you put your pitchfork on it. Let me see. My pattern ain't too good. So now you're possible in other trades. As you notice right here, it's rode this line, come down, touch this line, rode back up, almost touch, and rode back down, touch, a whole bunch right there. And now it's coming up. So as soon as it touched that one, you can watch it and go to the trade and come down. Go back to where I was talking about the candlestick patterns, what a candlestick forms. And so it gives you several yes and yes and yes, that's going to do it. So that's kind of what you want. You at least want 2 to 3 yeses on a pattern. So back to the other trade, let me show you. If this was not here, and this was not here, that's invisible, it'd throw you a piece of paper over it, whatever. I take my Fibonacci, run it from there to C, I'm sorry, A, B, and then back to the C's coming where it should be, the D's coming where it should be. I meant the A's where it should be, the A and B is I mean X and A is not really important. It's the D, I mean A, C, and A and A, B is important, and the B. A, B is important, and the C is important. Apparently I don't know my alphabets today. So these are what you call them, they're important. So if you have those, you kind of know where D is going to point. So if I just had this, and I some way, I can't cover my screen up, but I some way covered my screen up. I mean not my screen, but my I didn't have this over here formed. All I would do was come in here and put this already in here. Now, like I said, the D pattern is not formed here. So, but what I do, I run it down here to this line. It don't matter if it's over here or whatever, but I run it down this line, and that will my pattern would form. So then I would come to right under that 1.68. So there's my profit right here, the margin. So that's 7232, and I would go up just a little bit to cover right in there, and that's where I would take my profit. Let that ride down, because this can go all the way over here. It doesn't matter. It takes days or whatever, but it can keep riding down to way over here. I mean, it's the point it's going to come down to it. So I'll put my profit right in there somewhere, and get out of the trade, or you can do it right here on this one. It doesn't matter, but it's pretty much saying it's coming here. So that way you can get ahead of the game and take a future trade. So actually, you can tell the future. Like I said, nothing's perfect in this world. I'm not going to say it's 100%. What you'll get 100% of the time, you're not. 90% of the time, 80% of the time, yeah. So you do your own analysis, but it has happened. The butterfly pattern, like I said, is usually, I think, is the most powerful one. And once it forms, it does 90% of the time, 95% of the time, it does do what it's supposed to do. Now, some of the indicators, they'll say, "Oh no, it's a good pattern," and they'll put it right here. So let's say if you don't do the trade coming down, you just want to do D, they'll put it right here and say it's a good trade. It's got to hit the 2.68. All right, I'm sorry, 1.272. Got to come somewhere down there. So if it comes down and it tells you log in here, and then it claims it's going to go back up, more likely it's going to go back up a little bit like these, and then continue back down. If it comes down to the 1.68 right here, it's not a good trade. If it comes all the way down here, it's not going to do it. It could, don't get me wrong, but this is the area you're trying to shoot for. So like I said, if it goes, this one did go down a little bit farther, but I think if it goes past or to this one and touch, it's not a good one. If it stays in that somewhere in this area, it's good. Also follow your candlesticks, you know. Go back to where they talk about the candlesticks and watch it. But that's pretty much it on Fibonacci. Just remember, the Fibonacci is very powerful. There's other patterns in here. And my kids are awake, so I have to get off here. So you have other patterns that forms. And that's, you know, that's where they come. So remember, this is X, A, B. I'll make sure I get it right this time. C and D. So C cannot go above A. If this pattern, this C goes above, it's no good. Same way with this one. If B has to go past a certain number, and like I said, the other website tells you, goes past X, even though it's just a wick and the candle forms, you just got a wick, it's still no good. Same here. If it's got a wick, I don't care how far the wick is, you can take the trade if you choose to. Some people have took it. So if the wick comes, the candle forms in, if this wick comes past it, it's still no good. It's got to be that. Now, if that, I got to fly. If that pattern comes across and you got a candle forms and the wick touches, you're still good. Same way here. Comes down, touches, comes back up, forms the candle, the body, you're good. As long as that candle, and that's to me is very hard, because if you really have to watch that candle, make sure it don't go a little bit past it or anything. Me personally, if it goes a little bit past it or somewhere near it, I won't do it, just for the fact, you know, you have to have these things right, the Fibonacci right on the area. So, but anyways, we'll get off here. We'll talk about more Fibonacci. I'm gonna start doing coffee with me. I'm usually up about 5 in the morning. It's not just because I want to be. Trust me, I don't want to be. This is the way I've been ever since I was little. Raised on a farm, and we get up early in the morning, and so a lot of times I'm up at 4:30. But what we're going to do is we're going to have coffee, and I'm going to show you what most traders do. What most traders do first thing in the morning, the day before, but most of them does it the day of, early in the morning before the stock market opens. So other than that, have a good one. I hope everybody has a safe weekend. Today is Saturday. I don't even know what day it is, to tell you the truth. Saturday the 21st. And it is 7:30 now, and my kids are up, so I'm gonna have to get off here. And hopefully I see y'all. I may not do it Monday, it'll be Tuesday maybe, but we'll see. But anyways, join me Monday, Tuesday with coffee.